In this video, I'm going to try another example of updating code and debugging. So to begin with, let me comment back. As we can see, this line of code using sort by function from previous version. Therefore, in the version 6, the program will report an error saying the question mark 1 is not defined. To solve this question, we need to figure out what is the latest usage for sort by. So inside version 6, the latest version of NetLogo, we can right click and check the usage. And the documentation tells us we need to use this way of using sort by. That is, we use enormous function, and since it's compare different elements in the list or in the agent set or the list, therefore it has to be two items compare each other. We need to use a bracket to include two items. Therefore, we should rewrite this sort by line of code with the line below. That is, we need to use a bracket to put two houses inside, two items inside. Since it is houses, it's either a list or an agent set. But either way, we can write, we can give any sort of arbitrary name for house 1 and house 2. And then we compare the value. And we use a function called price diff. And this function needs an input. So we put input house 1, and this one also needs an input. We put in house 2, and then they compare the value. In this way, what we get out of this line of code is that houses to move become a list, and inside of this list, every element range its position by the value. The large value will come first. Okay, so that is what this line of code is supposed to do. How can we verify whether this line of code will work as we expected? For one thing, there's no error reported. That's a good sign, but we want to know exactly what these houses to move and what these houses mean. So first of all, we can try to check its class. So if the houses to move is a list, now we can apply length function to it. And as a matter of fact, this one works. Here, it prints out the number, which is 762. That's good. However, the better way to do this is to use user message. It pumps up a message window and tells us the answer. Okay, so that's how we check the class and the length of the list houses to move. How about the houses itself? The house itself is agent set, so we have to use count. We cannot use length, otherwise it will report an error. It is agent set, we cannot use length, so it must be count. Okay, I'm not going to test. Okay, let me just testify it, which is easy, right here. The house's number is 762, so they are the same number. Finally, we want to make sure that the sort by function used here produce the outcome as we expected. Right now, the sort by function, as we imagine, is to compare this value with this value. And as long as this one is bigger than this one, we will put house 1 first, then house 2 second. So every nearby houses will be put together to compare their price difference and then put them in the right order. So from left to the right in the list, the price difference will from the large to the small. That is how we expect the final list should be. So we can use the for each function to help us to verify whether that is the case or not. So for each item inside this list, we will run every item and output a user message and to run the function price difference for every single house. And the outcome, the price difference, should range the value from the biggest to the smallest. Let's have a look. So the first house price difference is 37,800. Second one is 32,000, which is smaller, yes. 30,000 smaller. 29,000 smaller. 25,000 smaller. So far, it works as we expected. This is 25,300, 24,500. So everything works well. So by now we have successfully updated this line of code from version 5 to version 6, and we successfully verified the list and the agent set, and also the sort by function to reorder this agent sets into a list.